quarter is, you think about the third quarter being where you're getting, you should know where you are in the position of coming around the track. If you're in a race and you're coming around that you're running that 4x100, that third leg is about understanding where you are in the race. You've got to be in position by the third quarter to be able to finish strong. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're getting prepared to do now in this third quarter. We're positioning ourselves so for the fourth quarter, when it comes around, that last sprint that you're going to be doing, you want to be in position to be able to succeed. And as I always say, be better by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. Right now, are you better in July than you were in January? If the answer is no, then what do you need to do in order to be able to be better by the end of the year? If the answer is yes, that you're better, then you want to still be even better. You can be even better by the end of the year than you are right now. But the third quarter is key. That third quarter is where you want to maintain, where you want to move forward, where you want to shift into the position that you need to be in the fourth quarter coming up to be able to finish strong. And I yield it back to you, Kathy.
Absolutely, Dr. Leroy. Thank you so much for sharing what shifting means and how we should shift this month of July. Well, we say good morning to your possibilities. We say good morning to your purpose. We say good morning to those goals that's yet to be fulfilled. We say good morning to them. We say good morning to the leader in you. And today we're talking about how July is the month. July is the month for the shift. When I look up the word shift, it says to move or to cause, right? To move from one place to another, right? Growing in size is another phrase that I see when we look at the word shift. It also says a slight change in position, direction. So what direction do we need to take in this month? Another way it was also phrased is that it's one or two or more things that's reoccurring, right? So our question we have to ask ourselves as leaders in our business, as leaders in the community, is what direction are we shifting into this month of July? Are there reoccurring things that we're building on in our businesses that we already started in January, but it is such a momentum that's been growing since January? It's reoccurring, it's growing, it's going to another level this month of July. There's a Japanese proverb that says, vision without action is daydream, and action without vision is a nightmare. I'm gonna repeat that again. It says vision without action is a daydream, and action without vision is a nightmare. What is the vision for the month of July? What is the vision for this third quarter? Dr. Leroy just said we are now in the third quarter. Fourth quarter will be right around the corner. How are we going to position ourselves to be prepared to end 2022 strong? And I'll tell you, how we treat this third quarter is also going to give us a preview on how 2023 will be. We can't wait till January 2023. We need to utilize this transitional quarter. I call it the transitional quarter, so we can be prepared to close out the fourth quarter strong and then thrust into 2023. Have you already written out your goals for 2023? What are your financial projections looking like for 2023? Again, vision without action is a daydream. We can dream all day long, but do we have the action steps to implement? And then it says action without vision is a nightmare. In other words, sometimes we can be running the race and doing things every day, but we don't have a strategy. We're just doing to do. We're just doing to post something on social media and say, hey, look at me, I'm busy, but it's not connected to a bigger vision, right? The bigger vision should be 2023. The bigger vision should be 2024. The bigger vision should be 2025. Have you written out the bigger vision? Utilize this third quarter, the transitional quarter in 2022, to create the bigger vision and to write it down, and then to get with your core team and share the vision so everyone can be working together in tandem. Again, when we think about the word shift, it means to change. It means to shift into another direction, or sometimes it can be reoccurring. Again, maybe you have momentum already going in your business and you want to continue to ride that wave this month of July. We encourage you to continue to push forward. And then you also have to think about, as you're pushing forward, who are you bringing with you in business, right? As we are in our transitional quarter, who are you pouring back into in the community? As we call this show Good Morning to the Leader, and you as leaders, we pour back into. Talk a little bit about that, Dr. Leroy, as we're, utilizing this quarter as our transitional month, as our shifting month. How can we shift and pour back into the next generation?
And that's a key thing, not just pouring into the next generation, but it's pouring into those who I call should be your circle of impact. You should have a core group of people that are around you that pour into you, and then that you pour into them. I've always believed that there should be tiers. You should have a tier of people that pour into you and you pour into. One is a mentor. You should have a mentor, someone that can pour into you, someone that can show you who you look at as to who is where you're trying to get to. They're where you're trying to get to. So you have them as a guide. They can show you some of those bumps in the road. They can show you some of those places that you shouldn't go or shouldn't do in order to be able to avoid the bumps in the road. Then you should have someone who is on your level, someone who is striving to go where it is that you're trying to go to, someone that's working like you at that same level and trying to move to that next level. And then that third level is like you were just talking about, Kathy, those that you should pour into that are mentees to you, those young people that are the next generation, that you're showing them how to move, how to be an entrepreneur, what it is to have a business, to start a business, to aspire to want to have a business, so that you can show them what it is and how it is to be able to be successful, what it is to be a successful entrepreneur. I believe that it's every generation's responsibility to make it better for the next generation. So how are you, as an entrepreneur, making it better for the next generation of entrepreneurs? Are you showing them some of the tricks and tools of the trade that you learned, that your mentor showed you? Are you pouring that into the next generation? I call it the picture in the glass theory. And I say this all the time. When you go to a restaurant and you sit down at the place setting, there's a glass at each setting, and they'll come and they'll bring a pitcher to the table. They'll bring a pitcher of water, lemonade, iced tea, soda, whatever it is that they'll bring. That pitcher is used to pour into those glasses. And we as entrepreneurs, as speakers, as whatever it is that we do as business owners, what we have to, and even as community, just as a community, we have to understand that sometimes we're the pitcher and sometimes we're the glass. Sometimes we pour into, and then there's sometimes we get poured into. And we have to understand what position that we're in. When we have a mentor, someone that is pouring into us, we're the glass. We take in what it is that they're trying to teach us. We take in the knowledge, the information, the resources that they give to us, that they pour into us. And then sometimes we're the pitcher, and we must pour into that next generation. We must do the pouring. We must have the resources that we receive. We pour in to others so that they can receive. Here's the thing. We teach to listen, and we teach to learn, and then we learn to teach. I'm gonna say that again for y'all. We teach to learn, and then we learn to teach. I hope y'all caught that. But that's right there, Kathy. That's the importance of pouring into the next generation. They get to learn from us teaching, and then we teach so that they can learn, and then they learn so that they can teach. I kick it back to you, Kathy.
I really like the analogy that you just shared about the pitcher in the glass. Sometimes we're pouring into, and sometimes people are pouring into us. It should be some type of mutual exchange. That's what I'm hearing you share. The pitcher and the glass. And so in this month of July, what position are you going to be playing this month? And sometimes it can be interchangeable, right? Throughout the course of the month, depending upon the business partners that you're collaborating with, maybe the mentor that you're with, or maybe you have mentees and you have a mentor. So it's going to be an exchange this month. But the point of the matter is, you have to understand and also know your role, because sometimes we're operating in business or we're operating in these working relationships and we don't know what role. Are we the pitcher? Are we the glass? What role are we playing, right? And then things get confusing, then goals are not accomplished. So you have to be very clear this month of July, what role are you playing? And there's a quote as you were sharing, Dr. Leroy, about the pitcher and the glass, and I saw this quote and it says, there are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist or accept the responsibility for changing them. I'm going to repeat that again. It says there are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist or accept the responsibility for changing them. So when we say this month of July is the month, what do we mean by that? It is the month for change. It is the month for the shift. It is the month to take on responsibilities that we've been sitting on the sideline saying, you know what, I don't want to really tackle with that. There are certain things. The only reason why our businesses can grow to the next level, our leadership capacity can grow to the next level, is sometimes we have to tackle those things that we don't want to deal with. Those unaddressed situations in your business, unaddressed situations in your circle. Sometimes you have to face it head on and deal with those things, right? And as we deal with those things, guess what's going to happen? A shift is going to happen. You're going to shift, they're going to shift, there's going to be a shift. But the thing is, when we think about stagnant water, think about a river for a second. And if you're in a part, or if you're walking by a river and it's stagnant water, it's going to reek a really foul smell. And that's how sometimes it is in business. If your business isn't moving, if there's no exchange taking place in your business isn't growing. It's just standing still. That's how stagnant water is. It's just standing still. It's not flowing forward, it's not flowing back, it's just standing still, and it's reeking a smell. And sometimes that's why our businesses isn't thriving, because it's just standing still. This is the month that you have to tackle some things. Is the partnership working within your business? If it is not, maybe you have to have certain conversations this month. Maybe this is the month for those difficult conversations so you can shift, and in this third quarter you can position yourself to where you truly need to go. Listen, sometimes we have so many things and so many weights that we have taken on, and we are holding on to those weights, and those weights are holding us back. Those weights are not propelling us forward. So I say to you right now, as we are flowing with this podcast, what weights do you need to release this month of July so you can flow and be what you're called to be, so you can flow and be that leader, so you can flow and be that business CEO. A lot of times we like to coin the topic or coin the phrase, I am the CEO of my business. Then we truly have to be the CEO of our business, right? What does being the CEO of our business, Dr. Leroy, what do you think of that? What does being the CEO of your business mean?
What it means is you're going to have to you're the decision maker. That means you're the visionary. That means that you set the tone for everything that goes on in, through, and around your business. When people see you, people will think, or you want them to think of your brand, your business, and who it is that you all are, because they're all intertwined. You want to make sure that whatever that tone, whatever the culture is that you want to have for your business, you set it. You create the culture. If you notice, and I use this one because it's one of the best examples I think that's out there, is the company Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has a culture of customer service. It has a culture of customer service because the owner of Chick-fil-A has a mind for customer service. From the top down, it is a concerted effort to ensure that everyone's experience at Chick-fil-A is a 5-star experience. So you, as the CEO, you set that tone. Whatever culture that you want to have in and around your business, that you want people to feel from your business, you set that culture. That means if it's a culture of laziness, that's what it's gonna set. If it's a culture of passion, that's what it's gonna set. If it's a culture of excellence, that's what it's gonna be. You are the one, as the CEO, that set the tone for the brand. You set the tone for the culture of your business. If you want people to think certain things about your business, then you have to create that culture for your business. That means the things that you want to do, you have to be able to, you have to see you doing them, and you have to see those that work for you are doing them as well. That's the mindset. Your mindset is, think about it. Think about the as an entrepreneur, think about the businesses that you might have worked on prior. Think about what the culture was in that particular business. Think about how people felt on that job. That all came down from the owners of that business down to you. I can tell you a number of companies that I worked for, and the mindset and the culture, whether it was good or was bad, it came down from the owners. It came down from the CEOs, because they set the tone, they set the culture in the business. So I leave it back to you, Catherine.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up though, because the mindset, and I wrote it down as you were sharing, your mindset will set the culture of your business. So when we're talking about the July is the month, and July is the month where we're going to shift. So then we got to think about what is our mindset, because Dr. Leroy just said your mindset will set the culture of your business. So in other words, the CEO, the founder, as an example, he talked about Chick-fil-A and how they are so in tune to customer service. So many of us, as we are growing and evolving our business, and some may say, well, my business isn't growing, then we got to check the culture. And I think, Dr. Leroy, you just set the tone for the whole month, because every time when we start our podcast for the month of July, you know how we going to start our conversation? Check the culture. What is the culture?
Check the culture. I love that.
Culture.
Yep. I love that.
You know,
hashtag check the culture.
Hashtag check the culture, because that is what we are going to be developing in our business. And when I looked up the term mindset, it says the established set of attitudes held by someone. And so when people may say, well, people in my company not flowing with me. Well, what is happening from leadership on down? That's why this show is called Good Morning to the Leader in You. It's not, we are very, very candid, and we put the cards on the table as it relates to leadership. So as the head, it flows all the way throughout the whole body, right? And that's how it is in business. So when we say we have to establish new attitudes and the culture within our business, because the culture is going to help propel the business forward. And then when I looked up the definition of the word culture, it talked about it's a group of individuals with shared common beliefs, right? It could be in social institutions. It can be in a community of people from the same, cultural background, but shared beliefs at the end of the day. And so I want you to think about your business model. What shared beliefs do you have in your business model that team members, whether maybe you have a nonprofit and you have board of directors, maybe you have individuals, maybe you have an LLC and you have a partnership. What are the shared beliefs within your group that you can help expand this month of July? Again, Dr. Leroy already said it. This is the third quarter. We're saying this month is the month of what? It is the month for the shift. It is also the time for us to prepare our projections for the next several years, for at least 2023. What does your projections look like? And with that being said, I saw another quote that I want to share. It says, "It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed." Some may be listening to this show or even now or later saying, you know what? I really want to take it up a notch. I want to cultivate that culture in my business. I know it's still some things that's on the to-do list that I haven't got done yet, but what if I fail? What if I fail? Several people have mentioned to myself, what if I fail if I step out there into the unknown? What if I fail if I step out there with my business and, it's a brand new idea. I don't even know if people are going to embrace my concept. What if you don't fail? What if you don't fail? What if you don't fail? And here's the thing. I have failed many times in my life with business. Anybody that know me know I love business through and through. I've started many years ago. Dr. Leroy has been a supporter from my very beginning phases. And so you have to know without a shadow of a doubt, even if you fail at something, that does not mean you are a failure. And Dr. Leroy kept saying several times about who's in your circle, who's cheering you on, who's expressing those positive affirmations to you. It's certain people that started with me from years ago when I had absolutely nothing. but they embrace the vision. So you have to understand, even if you got one or none, somebody said, well, I don't have anybody. You got yourself. And guess what? Every time you plug into this show on Tuesday, Good Morning to the Leader in You, we are cheering you on. We're saying, you know what? Don't be afraid of the failure, because guess what? The reality is, in business, there's going to be different times that we're going to hit our head against the wall and we're going to fail at something. That's just reality in business. There's no business person that have started and hit it out the park and everything was just peachy. That's just not even reality, right? So we want to also be real and prepare you for those moments and times that things may get derailed. Think about a train, and when it jumps the track, it gets what? Derailed. Sometimes in life that will happen, but you know what? You have to say to yourself, even though the detour happened, I can get back on a new pathway. Again, this month of July is the month to do what? To shift. If you felt that the first 6 months of this year you jumped the track and you don't know what's going on, well, July is the month that you can shift gears and you can get back on track and you can fulfill your assignment. You can fulfill the gift that's on the inside of you. Again, it is hard to fail, but it is worse to never have tried to succeed. So for those that might be on the sitting line and saying, I'm seeing everybody else going forward, I'm seeing them doing their thing, but I don't know if I can do it. We are nudging you this morning. We are pushing you this morning to get off of the seat of just watching others do, and you get in the game and you do for your business. Dr. Leader, talk about getting in the game.
We can't be entrepreneurs. We think different. If you look at, and Catherine, you said it, if you look back at any successful entrepreneur, they have failed multiple times. Anybody that tells you that they're successful and they have not failed, run away from them as quick as you can, because they're lying to you. Michael Jordan, there's a commercial that he has, and it was years ago. He talked about missing, what was the 2,000 something shots or whatever, but he also talks about in those moments and learning from those moments and still wanting to be the person that at the end of the game, he still wants that shot. And if we aren't in the game, we can't get the shot. So we can't be apprehensive about who it is that we are. We can't give you self-esteem. We can pour into you, but at the end of the day, you're the only one that has to have it in you to be able to have the confidence in order to be able to believe in what it is that you're doing. If you don't believe in what you're doing, how can you expect anybody else? So even if nobody else believes in what it is that you're doing, you should be the first one believing in it. And yes, there are times where people say that you will have or should have people around you, surrounding you, that can see something that you don't see, something in you that others that you may not necessarily see in yourself. But at the end of the day, you should begin to see that in yourself and have enough confidence. Yeah, okay, that person didn't see the vision that I had. That person didn't see that my product or my service was beneficial for them. And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And maybe they'll get it. But as long as you keep believing in what it is that you do, trust me, eventually there will be those who will see what it is that you have. Your product, your service will be the answer to someone's problem. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter in the NBA, had a horrible game. I don't say a horrible game. A horrible game for him was he scored 12 points, and I forgot whatever it was, in game 4 of the championship of the NBA Finals. You know how many points he came back and scored the next game? 42. He dropped 42 points after only scoring 12. He didn't stop. He didn't say, "Oh, I can't go out there and play anymore." He went out there and he knew if he kept shooting, because of what he does on the back end, what he does in practice every single day, and he does it with an abandonment. He does it with a relentlessness, knowing, hey, if that shot didn't go, all I got to do is keep shooting. All I got to do is keep shooting. And that's all we're telling you to do, is to keep shooting. Because when you keep shooting, eventually, if you're doing the work, if you have those processes, if you have those systems in place, I promise you, the shots will go in. People will see what it is that you're doing. The people will galvanize behind what it is, your product that you have. Coca-Cola, the company that you all may drink their sodas, only sold 38 bottles their first year in business. 38. Now imagine if they had stopped and said, oh, this isn't working. If they hadn't decided to stay in the game and to even get in the game, where would that company be? Where would the Coca-Cola company be today? We wouldn't even know about it because they didn't get discouraged. They knew they had something that there was going to be a mass amount of people that would like and would want. But you got to keep doing it. You got to keep going. I promise you, when you have the as my mentor talked the other day, he talked about the principles of business, the principles. If you stick to the principles of business, I promise you, you will succeed. Back to you, Kathy.
Wow, so many things that I was taking notes even as you were sharing. You had brought up about Curry and how in one game he had 12 points, but he came back to that follow-up game hitting 42 points. Then you talked about Coca-Cola in their first year of business, how they only sold 38, what did you say, 38 cans?
38 cans, 38 bottles, yep.
38 bottles in the first year.
In 12 months.
In 12 months. And we see where Coca-Cola is today, and they have a lot of other branch off businesses from Coca-Cola umbrella. So when we say July is the month and we say it's the month of the shift, I don't care if you feel as though the first 6 months of the year, your business did not sell what you wanted it to sell. Maybe you didn't hit the quotas that you wanted to hit. Guess what? You can get back in the game. Dr. Leroy just says, stick in the game, stay in the game. And if you stay in the game, you got to win. You got to get to the next level. If you think about where Coca-Cola is today, and in the first year, 12 months only selling 38 cans, somebody would have definitely closed up shop, but they didn't. You know why? Because they saw the vision. The vision. What is your vision for this month of July? What is your vision on how you want to close out 2022? What is your vision and how you want to thrust into 2023? And you got to get yourself some accountability partners that also have strong visions, right? Because we can't be sitting in a room and somebody saying, well, dang, your business ain't make much money all year long in 2022. Would you gonna chill this summer? You don't need nobody like that talking to you. You need people saying, you know what? It doesn't matter what happened the first 6 months of the year. This month of July is going to be that month. So that's why we put in the caption, July is the month. You fill in the blank of what you need July to be for you. You fill in the blank. There's a quote that says, the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. Again, the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. So even though we may have had difficulty in different phases of our business, the first half of this year, guess what? July, you and I, Dr. Leroy, all of us are going to turn the corner in our business and a shift is going to happen. We're speaking it out of our mouth, but then we're going to couple it up with action. Action is what we're about to do. Even as we get ready to wind down this segment on today, we want everyone to go into action mode. Listen, this month of July for Good Morning to the Leader in You is going to be a powerful month. Next Tuesday, actually, we're going to be showcasing different leaders from the Baltimore community that's actually going to be a part of Speak Life Baltimore. For those of you that may or may not know, Saturday, July 23rd, kicking off at 12 noon, 3220 the Alameda is Speak Life Baltimore. And next Tuesday, we're going to be featuring a lot of the leaders that's coming out that day, and we're going to be learning about their nonprofits on the podcast, but also you'll be able to meet them in person. Then that following Thursday, we have a gentleman, I'm sure a lot of people in Baltimore City know him. Dr. Lee, you want to give a sneak preview for July 19th?
July 19th, we're going to be having just a phenomenal young man. And for y'all that are in the Baltimore area, y'all might know him as DJ 5-Star, yes. Kendrick Tillman, but just an absolute great entrepreneur. Check this out. And I Catherine, I don't know if you know this, but this is how adamant and passionate he is about being an entrepreneur. He talked about this a little while ago. He had a 20-year business plan. 20-year business plan, because he talked about being 11 years in on a 20-year business plan.
Wow.
And I was just, it blew me away that he was talking like that. And we as entrepreneurs, we've got to understand that we have to be thinking 5, 10, 15, 20 years ahead.
Yes.
That's what entrepreneurs do. That's what the best of the best do. That's what the top guns do. They're thinking not just today. They're not thinking about this coming weekend. Oh, when's the weekend gonna get here? They're thinking about, hey, what do I look like? Like you were saying, Captain, what does my 2023 look like? What does my 2024 look like? What does my 2025 look like? I'm already there. I'm already in those entrepreneurs that are passionate about, they're already in 2023. They're already in 2024 because they're visionaries and they see where it is that they want to be, because every decision that we make today puts us where we want to be in 2023, 2024. I promise you, take a look back at take a look back at where you're saying that you wanted to be in 2022 and see if the decisions that you made put you to where it is that you want to be in 2022, that you are in 2022, and do the same thing moving in 2023, moving in 2024. Where is it that I said I want to be? And then before you make a decision, ask yourself, does this put me where I'm trying to be in 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026? Does it put me in that position? And if the answer is yes, then hey, the decision is yes. If the answer is no, then the decision is no. Those are the things that we have to think about as we're moving into this third quarter, into the fourth quarter of 2023. We should already be in 2023. We should already be there. Already be there. Coca-Cola, really quick. Coca-Cola is worth $286 billion today, Captain.
That's with a 286 billion.
With a B. From 38 bottles in year one to being worth $286 billion. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all.
Keep it going, keep moving. We want to give some shout outs before we wind down the show. We want to give a shout out to Miss Tania Lewis. Thank you so much for joining the podcast this morning and chiming into the live feed. We want to give a shout out to also Jordan. Jordan, thank you for popping in. We also want to give a shout out to Vilecia Toe, who's the CEO of Fashionably Chic Tour. She will also be there on July 23rd at the Speak Life Baltimore event. We want to give a shout out to Marvin J. Perry. Thank you for tuning in and watching as well. Again, we want to thank everybody that tuned into the live broadcast, and it will be on our profile for replay for anyone that you want to share this to. Again, next Tuesday, we're going to have several leaders from the Baltimore community that's going to be a part of the podcast. That's going to be a part of Speak Life Baltimore. If you are listening and you're in the Baltimore or surrounding areas, come on through. It is a family affair. It's going to be live performances, live visual artists, and we're going to have an art corner for those that want to create their own visual art pieces. We have several canvases. All of it's going to be there, free food for the whole community. So come out, and we have some young girls and teenagers that's launching their business that day. So come out and support our budding youth entrepreneurs. They're going to be having their table set up, specifically Allie's Lemonade. She's 9 years old. And on July 23rd is going to be the launch of her business. So please come out and support her and support everyone that's coming out. Dr. Leroy, share your contact information before we close out.
Sure. If people want to connect with me, please do. You can go to, I'm on the different social media pages. Facebook, it's Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. or my company, GM2Leader Enterprises. On Instagram, Dr. LJ Speaks. On LinkedIn, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel and check out some of the great digital content that I have, and it's GM2Leader Enterprises as well. And then what am I missing? That Instagram, Facebook. But you can also go to my link tree, which is http // link LINKTR.ee JNF Enterprises, and that'll give you access to all of my platforms and my website. How can I forget my website? www.jnfenterprises.com. You can check me out there, connect with me there.
Absolutely. We also want to give another shout out to Rico Crawley. Thank you so much for tuning into our live broadcast. For all the businesses that's tuning in now, tuning in later, even on our Facebook chat, feel free to drop your business information. If you have your website or social media handles, you can drop your business information. So even when the podcast is done, people can follow up with you, connect with you about your business, and you can continue to network with people even after we have concluded. My contact information, my website is www.catherinetrotter.com, Catherine with a C. And you can check out, obviously, my Instagram page, which is CTR Strategy Solutions. You're already on here on Facebook. But for those that don't have it, Facebook is CTR Strategy Solutions as well. And I have an upcoming webinar this month. We have two. We actually have it on July 14th and we have it on July 28th. On July 14th is going down at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and July 28th is at 1 p.m. EST time. It will be on Zoom. It is an opportunity for people to actually work out their strategy for the rest of this year, work on their strategy for next year. Anyone that know me in my business, we assist business owners with strategy implementation, strategic planning, organizational development. We help people also get their 501c3 tax exempt status. Oh, we got another shout out. Thank you, Bernice Lohman, for tuning in and supporting. Thank you for coming on. So for anyone out there that may need some assistance around strategic planning and organizational development, send me an email, ct@catherinetrotter.com. And we're going to see everybody once again next week, 9:30 a.m. We're going to have a host of other leaders that's going to be a part of Speak Like Baltimore. We're going to be interviewing them next Tuesday. So plug back in next Tuesday, 9:30 EST. And you know how I always like to say it at the end, we're going to see you at the top.